Ooh. Hello, everyone.
Hello,
Hello. It's Brenda and
Nicholas.
Nicholas. Yay.
I'm her son, so
Yeah,
I'm here
I've been
today.
talking about Nicholas a lot. Probably, I've always talked about Nicholas a lot. But I said a couple weeks ago that I was going to see if he would do a live with me. And finally, we got it together.
Yeah,
And this is the last Tuesday before he goes back to university.
yeah, I know. So I gotta get this one in. So
Yeah, so this weekend I said, okay, can we do a card? So, yeah, we sat down, we both did a card, and we're gonna do both cards today. Yay! And in case you're going, what the heck is Casing Tuesday? I'll just explain that a little bit. That's the day, every Tuesday, a group of us take a card out of the catalog and we give it a makeover. And we generally use a different stamp set. Some people like to recreate the card exactly, and that's perfectly fine. I always like to do a different stamp set, and that's what we did. And we each chose a different stamp set, and we made the card. It was kind of fun to do that, fun to do it with you. And
yeah,
I don't think we've stamped together.
it's been a couple years, hasn't it?
It's been a while. I think maybe you've made a card in the
I've
past.
made cards with you before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I remember especially like making when you were younger and you had to make Valentines at school
yeah.
and like to hand out at school, and we would make a whole bunch of them together. And actually, I always thought Nicholas was better at watercoloring than me because I was like a little bit too controlled, and he
Well,
was
okay.
kind of just like, let's color. And I think his always turned out better than mine. So I don't think we're using Stampin' Blends today. We're not doing any watercoloring,
Yeah, no.
but it should be fun. So I'm so glad you're here with us. I hope everyone can hear our sound because sometimes I forget to. I think I have my camera with the
Yeah,
sound
it's
on,
the audio
so
levels. We're good. We're good. We
so
should
so
be.
we're good. So let us know if there's any technical difficulties, so I catch them early on. So okay, let's get started. Let me show you first of all the card that we are starting from. Oh, here we go. This is a card out of the holiday catalog, and this is the last card we're doing out of the holiday catalog because today's the 31st. It's the last day of the year, and we are switching over to a new catalog next week. Actually, we're switching over on Friday, but our first Tuesday live will be on next week. But so this is the last card of the catalog. It's kind of appropriate. It says cheers. It's a beautiful card. And the layout's fairly simple. It's got kind of a central element, and then it's got a band coming across. So let me just share with you the sketch for that. So you can use a rectangle like the one in the sketch, or you can use the stitch nested framelits like we've used, or use an oval, maybe even a circle. Look at your dies and see what you have. But if you don't have a lot of supplies, a rectangle always works as well. So don't feel like you have to like break the bank. When you're starting out, you can use a rectangle. So that is the card this week in a nutshell. So we're going to switch cameras and we're going to just um, do our cards.
Yeah, we can switch
Okay,
cameras.
let's switch cameras. Okay, we're facing down. Let me scoot over. We're in a tight space. I've got a squished in here. So let me explain my card first. We are both using new stamp sets that are coming up. They will be available on Friday. I use the Painted Poppy stamp set right here. And then I'm also using a celebration stamp set for the greeting, and that's Sending You Thoughts. The way you earn celebration stamp sets is if you spend $50 during celebration at one time, you can choose a stamp set. There's also some items that are for $100 purchases, but this one is like for every $50 you spend, you can choose. Well, you could choose this stamp set, or you could choose the one that Nicholas used. So Sending You Thoughts is the little happy birthday right here. And it's just such a happy little card. Something I love about this set is that it's got this splotchy background, so you don't even have to watercolor, and it creates that kind of nice look. And then I use the splatter stamp over top to create that colored look, like you kind of watercolored. So we'll show you how to do that. And that's my card. And then Nicholas's card will show you afterwards.
Yeah, so this one's using the Gains on Mirror stamp set, which is a stamp set full of meerkats.
And it's a celebration stamp set. So this
Yes.
one can be earned free with a $50 purchase starting January 3rd. And celebration runs all the way to March 31st. So talk a little bit about your card, Nick.
So when I was young, I had a Western themed birthday party, so I thought it might be fun to do a birthday card that sort of resembled a Western theme. So right now we have this little happy birthday to a stand-up friend who's in the center with a little gecko with a party hat. And then once we open it up, we have from all of us. So this could be great if you have a little kid and you want to do a family card for a birthday party you're going to.
Or maybe an office card.
Office card too. It's a really versatile card.
Or maybe like in your dorm room, if you have in your door or your floor, you may have a birthday. So it could be something like that for a group, right?
Yeah, no, it's just a fun little Western themed card that I thought might be fun to do.
Very cool. Okay, so let's start off with my card. Let's put some things away, reaching over. And we'll start off with the base. And I'm going to get Nicholas to stamp with me too. And he hasn't stamped this card before, so he's like,
oh boy,
can we practice? And I'm like, no, we're going to just wing it. And so he's like stamping this card. He's never stamped it before, so he's, but it's all good, right?
We'll see how good the instructions are. I have a feeling this will be good though.
So we used these are they're called the stitch nested labels, and for my card I used the largest label, and I just cut it out with Whisper White. And then we'll start off with the happy birthday, because we're going to, you know what, Nick, can you grab a couple of those sheets on top of their scrap pieces, one for each of us? We're going to put a little scrap piece because we're going to be stamping off the page just a little bit. But the happy birthday, we're going to be using Memento ink, and we'll just start off. I'm going to stand because our chairs are so super low.
Yeah.
Because I had to, yeah. And I don't put the labels on my stamps like some people do. So I'm just going to tell you a little trick. That little line at the top, treat that as your level line.
Okay.
So like level that with that.
Okay.
So I'm going to ink this up, and I'm going to stamp it in the top right corner. See how that levels off right there?
Okay, let me just re-ink this up.
Yep, let's re-ink that. I'm going to grab the next stamp.
Level that off right there and put it in the corner?
Yeah, go down just a wee bit.
Right there?
Yeah, that's good. Okay. Whoa, super!
Okay.
You're a pro!
I haven't messed it up yet. Okay.
Okay.
What's the next step?
Okay, now we're going to stamp some flowers. And so there's not really a wrong way and a right way, but I'm just going to start off inking this up. And I'm going to stamp this first one kind of down here under the happy birthday. And then just make sure you ink it up really well. I'll come down here and I'm going to stamp this one off just a bit. And then I'm just kind of going around here. So I'm kind of filling in the space. So you can butt this up right to the line because the stamp is in just a little bit. So if you butt it up just to the line like that, see it still leaves a little space. And then there's just a little bit of room right there, and I can just squeeze a little bit of a petal in there. So start here.
Right. Okay. I'll try to follow the same pattern that you laid out here.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So okay. So stamp right there.
Great.
Okay.
And that one, if you want, you can move one that's up a little bit because you did your other one a little lower. So just as long as you were filling in the space, okay, but you want to go here next.
Right, okay.
Okay.
So do this one in the bottom, right
Yeah,
here?
yeah, that one.
Okay. Right there. Ooh,
Okay.
there we
And
go.
then you're going to go right here. Make sure you don't obliterate the happy birthday.
Right, right. We don't want that. We want to make sure our greeting's still on there.
Yep.
Oh, okay. We have a bit of an overlap, but that's
That's
okay.
okay. It
That's
looks
okay.
fine. It looks fine. That's the thing about this kind of style of stamp. It's like not perfect. Once we put the splotches on too, it's going to be okay, great. Oh, and I need my scrap paper back. Where did I stick it?
Oh, scrap paper?
Oh, I stuck it over there. It's okay.
Okay.
I've got it. All right. I've got my, because we're going to be stamping off. Okay. Now I'm going to use two colors. Grab me the Poppy Parade. It's the top color right there. Okay. So I've got Poppy Parade, and I did these kind of in stages. So I did Poppy Parade and Flirty Flamingo. Say that fast.
Poppy Parade and Flirty Flamingo? It's not that bad.
It's Flirty Flamingo is hard for my mouth for some reason. So I'm going to do the bottom two flowers in Poppy Parade, and then we'll clean off the stamp and do the top. Okay, so we get different shading.
I thought you colored these in, so this is just a
No,
stamp.
it's a big step. So what you're going to do is just ink it up, tamp, tamp, tamp down. Remember, this is spongy.
Right.
Okay, so you don't want to go really hard on the sponge. So tap, 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 and then we're going to stamp this right over top. It's not a perfect stamp, okay? So it's not going to fill in all the areas.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, so this is very sort of like a sketchy.
Yeah. So, and then
Got
just
it.
kind of go over top. So I'm going to hand that over to you.
Okay.
And so...
And do you want me to grab you Flirty Flamingo?
Not yet, because I have to clean off the stamp. So I can't stamp when you're stamping either. So let's do that first. And you're going to...
So bottom two.
Yeah, just hover over the line image. Perfect.
Okay.
Because this is not supposed to be, it's not supposed to match the outline exactly. So it's kind of like your watercoloring, like we did way back in the day.
Okay, and do you want to clean that off?
Yeah, I'm going to clean it off. But before we switch colors, we're going to do one more thing to make it look really random and watercolory. We're going to use the splotch stamp, okay?
Okay.
So you're going to ink this up, tamp, tamp down, and then you're just going to stamp right over top.
Oh, I see.
Isn't that crazy?
Okay, and that's how you get this
Yeah.
splotchy design. Okay.
Yeah. So just kind of you kind of want to keep within the lines.
Right.
So there you go. That's really easy peasy.
Awesome.
So then we'll start with the next color. And perfect. Isn't that cool?
Yeah,
like
that's
it looks
pretty cool.
really like whoosh.
Yeah, it's like splotchy, like those artists who throw like water
Paint?
balloons. Yeah, paints
Or,
like abstract art.
Okay, and we're gonna use Flirty Flamingo next, and I'm gonna just ink this up. So Flirty Flamingo kind of complements the Poppy Parade. So there we go. I'm a little off there, but that's okay. I'll put my splotch down a little lower. And then I've got that right there. So switch those out.
Thank you.
Move my red away so we don't muddy our stamps. I'm cleaning off my stamps in between. It's always a good idea to clean off in between so that you don't muddy your colors. And after Nick finishes that last one, you might want to scoot this a little bit.
Yeah.
After that, we're going to, and I'll get rid of that one for you, and then we'll do the splotch, splotch, and splotch. The splotches, I think, are easier, right?
Oh yeah.
They're just like so
kind of just
random.
put them anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. So now I think what we'll do is we're gonna grab, I need to just reach. I think we can sit down again, and we're gonna grab some of these, and let's do this. Okay, I'm gonna show you this, Nick.
Okay.
This is called a take your pick tool. And this one is the putty attachment. Okay, so let me pop this off, stick this in here. Okay, so the putty attachment helps you pick up embellishments. So,
okay.
So we're going to add some of these sequins to the card. So first what we're going to do is we're going to kind of lay them out. We can get rid of these.
Yep. I'll recycle those.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it.
Okay, so we'll just pick out some, I don't know if I want black. Let's see, I think. I'm going fishing. I kind of like to replicate what I've already done. I've picked up a hair. That's not good. There's a gold one. Gold. And I want a red one. I see one in there. Over there. Red. And, okay, I see, like a clear one is good too. I'm replicating what I did. But you can just choose a few.
Okay.
To stick on
I'll try
there.
to replicate what you're doing so we can.
You can do whatever you want though, like seriously. And then what we'll do, we've got mini glue dots here, and I'm just gonna stick my little guys on the mini glue dots, and then as soon as I have them arranged, you can just stick them on a dot and then just stick them down on your card.
Try the red one.
Or like, yeah, just do whatever you want. Like I think it's nice to have like odd numbers and groupings. So like I've got a grouping of like 3 here and 1 over here. Okay. You know, and it's a really good idea once you've done your little sequence, always cap them.
Okay, yeah, because I can imagine they can go everywhere.
A sequin catastrophe.
Right.
It's yeah, that's not fun. So what you're going to do, see these little dots on here? The mini glue dots?
Yes.
So you pick them up. You could pick it up with this, but it's easier to pick them up now with your hand and stick them right on the dot and then peel it off.
Oh, wow,
so,
they're tiny.
Yeah, so take it, watch. No.
Okay, how do you do it?
Your
Oh, you stick them
there.
on.
Sorry, I'm not off camera maybe. So stick it on there, and now you can peel it off.
Okay.
Peel it off from the bottom. Is it still on there?
It's on there. Okay.
So peel it off.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then stick it down where you want it.
Oh, that's
okay.
Oh, that's
so if you want to hold the, do you want me to hold the roll, or do you want?
No,
me
I
to
can hold the roll.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
If I can do this, guys, anyone can, because I'm an engineer, so I don't exactly have art skills.
That's not true. I think we all have art in us that's locked, that you need to find your medium, right?
Yeah.
Because like when I was growing up, my sister was always deemed the artistic one. And so I just didn't think I had any art ability. And really, my art ability was unlocked through stamping. And so that's kind of amazing that you can find your medium. For some people, it's music. And some people, it's dance. You know, you never know where your creativity what shape or form it will come in, but I think we do all have it somewhere buried in us. Okay. I'm gonna read off Amy's comment. She says, "Such a cute card. Nicholas is doing a great job stamping. I love seeing him stamp with you."
Aww. Thank you, Amy.
So we've got the main part of our card is rocking. So I've already cut some card bases. This color is soft sea foam, and basically you just take a half sheet of cardstock. This is an 8.5 by 5.5 piece, scored in half at the 4 1/4 inch mark. And what we want to do, and I actually cut this paper. Oh, this is the pretty. Let me pull up this paper. This is the Peaceful Poppies Designer Series paper. It is just gorgeous. And it matches the Painted Poppies stamp set. And there's so many pretty designs. And I chose a boring neutral design but there's so many pretty pieces. So what you could do, you could also just cut a piece of paper and then layer a greeting on top, like maybe in a rectangle. Like you could do the happy birthday stamped on a rectangle and just add it, like if you wanted to do a quick card. But this paper is just super gorgeous, like just awesome. Anyway, the backs have kind of a neutral pattern and the fronts have like a really pretty floral pattern. So this is a great paper if you're going to get the painted poppy stamp set. So look at the back is really beautiful, and I chose kind of a neutral front. And instead of doing horizontal stripes, I did vertical stripes. But before we add this to the front, notice how I've got a little bit of splotches going on here.
Oh, I see that.
We're bringing in the splotch stamp again. So let me clean this off. Can you grab me soft seafoam? It's the first green on the left. Second row.
I am looking.
Second row.
Second row.
Third from the bottom.
Third from the bottom. Oh, wow. Okay, that's
yeah.
That's hard to see. That's not my fault.
It's a light color, so it's a little hard to see. So the reason I wanted to bring this in is to show you we want to stamp in the top corner, top right, and the bottom left. So I'm going to stand again because it's a little easier. So I'm just going to ink this up, stamp this right at the top and right down here at the bottom. Okay? And you really can't go wrong because it's a splotch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hello, Betty. I'm so glad that you're here to join us this morning. And you're all the way from Oregon. Cool. Neat. Yeah, isn't that paper gorgeous? I just love it. I love it when there's a stamp set with matching paper and maybe a die or a punch to go with it. I didn't use the dies that go with the stamp set this time.
Okay.
So where did I stick my glue? I think. Can you grab that bottle of glue right there? Oh,
yeah,
no, I've got my
paper.
Yep. So, yeah. Okay. So when I use Tombow, I always keep it on its side.
Oh, okay.
The reason I do that is that way it's closer to the front when you're like bringing the glue out. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab here. You grab this one.
Okay.
And we're going to adhere this now. Just kind of shake it down to the bottom and then just squeeze it a little bit and see how much it comes out, because you don't look how much adhesive I'm using.
Okay, so just a very thin line then.
Yeah, you don't want to glom it on.
Do you want to show that to the camera, because I'm not sure.
Yeah, you don't want to. And I'm going to set this dead center. And I think the sketch says 1 1/8 inch wide. I think mine actually might be a little wider. Let's see, mine's 1.5. So you can fudge that a little bit if you want to go. Is yours not working?
Do you have to twist to unlock it?
Nope. Want to use mine because that one I haven't used in a while.
Okay, yeah, I can't get that one to work.
I dropped my paper clip in the garbage can, and I have to go make a new declogger. It's a bad thing because I have my garbage can kind of right next to my workstation, and sometimes things fall off into the garbage can, and then and it's like all these little paper bits, and you have to go down and find it.
Did you do like a line in the
No,
center?
that's a lot of adhesive.
Okay.
See,
whoops.
Well, just for future, if you can get a little thinner, it's gonna like have less chance of oozing out, because oozing is not always right.
Whoops. Okay. So after the little mishap, we just stick it in the center?
Yeah, like kind of center it from top to bottom.
Do you eyeball it or?
Yeah, just eyeball it.
So this isn't like an exact science. It's just
Yeah. You want to try and keep it straight though, because if you can, you have a second kind of. That looks good.
I think yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then we're going to grab our top layer, and again we're going to put some adhesive on the back. See, just very light. And then I'm going to stand up because it's a little easier to center this when standing up. And then you just stick this on top like that. And then when you're happy, just press down. Where did your layer go?
What layer? This one?
Oh yeah. Okay,
yeah,
there you go.
Yeah. Glue on it.
Yeah. All right. And you know what I did? I pre-tied bows for us.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I did.
Lots of off-camera work to save us time, eh?
Yeah, because there's nothing, like, I always have a hard time.
Okay, that one.
Okay, here, put a little bit of Tombow right there in the corner. Oop.
Oh, whoa, okay. Yeah.
Okay, and if I get too much, like, I try to obliterate the
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 big lines?
big
Okay.
globs, just a little bit so that it doesn't like kind of glom all on one area. Okay, you're good.
Awesome.
All right. I'll let you, okay, you do that, and then we'll put our little bows on. So this ribbon is the crinkled Whisper White seam binding, and this will, almost all of the products that I'm using, the sequins, the stamp set, the paper, all of that will be available starting on Friday. So it's not too much longer before you can get that. I love this crinkled seam binding. It's very kind of rustic. It is coming apart a little bit. That's the look of it. Like it's kind of rustic and nice. This also colors really well with Stampin' Blends, but I didn't want the bow to take away from the flowers because they're so pretty. So I kept the ribbon white this time. Are you happy with that?
I think I am, yeah.
Okay, hand me those mini glue dots.
Okay.
So what we'll do with the bow, we'll stick that right on the knot on a dot.
Okay, not on the dot.
Yeah, and the rest of the time we'll rhyme.
Okay, so we're gonna rhyme all the time?
Yes. No, we won't because I can only keep this up for a little while longer. Let me grab this down. I've kind of turned my bow around. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Where's my little sticky thing? Okay. So I'm just going to stick this down here at the bottom.
Stick on the bottom. On the
yeah, the
side.
bottom corner. Because, and the wrinkled seam binding goes really well with this because it's kind of got that, you know, splotchy feel. It's like a free spirit card, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. You did it.
Okay.
Yay!
Yeah.
Awesome. So I want to just show you everyone one more sample with this card in case you don't want to do the splotchy design. This stamp set also has a very pretty just poppy line art poppy design, and this one I colored in with Stampin' Blends. So you can do different looks with this card. I use paper. This one's some pool party paper that's in that poppy paper pack. So you can kind of do the same thing. And I use different sequins for this card. I use the iridescent sequin assortment because they went a little bit better with the blue hue. But you could probably pick out some pinks and whites, and that would work with this sequin assortment as well. So just kind of a different look, a slightly different look, but just another version for this card. All right, on to card number 2.
Okay, so
do you
now
have
I get
your
to...
card? Yeah,
I do. So this is the card that we're gonna make that I designed last Saturday. So we're gonna see if I still remember how to do this. Okay, so.
Okay.
What this is, I started off with sable brown.
That's soft suede.
Soft suede. Okay,
Yay.
I tried.
Yeah.
So soft suede.
Card base.
Card base. That's the word. And I decided to do a horizontal opening as opposed to like a vertical opening, just to do.
I like that side opening, and your reasoning, I think, behind that was this little guy is leading out to the next.
Right.
The side.
So I tried to put some, like, you know, what little I remember from art class into this. So he's sort of like leading you out to the other side so that when we flip, we see all his friends with party hats.
Cool.
So we're going to try to do that.
All right.
So
you want to start off with the focal point?
Yes, let's start off the focal point.
And we're using the same framelits, the stitch nested framelits, except this time because the images that we were using on the front are a little smaller, we went with the second largest instead of the largest.
This one.
Yeah. So, and you know, maybe we'll have. Oh, I only cut one of these inside pieces. Maybe you stamp the ins. Did I not? Oh, cut. Oh, okay. I only cut one of those pieces. Okay. So I might need to.
It's fairly simple, but we'll start off with this. So. What we're going to do is have you mounted
I have
these
the
stamps
mounted. I'll bring them out.
So we're going to start off with this little guy.
Oh, are we going to do the greeting first?
Let's start off the greeting first, yeah. So we're going to put this happy birthday to a stand-up friends in the top left-hand corner.
And let me grab you the ink. Or do we have the ink?
Where did the ink go?
I buried the ink somewhere. Okay.
Wait, where did the ink go?
Oh, here it is.
Okay, you found it?
Yeah.
All right, awesome.
I've been moving stuff off to the side because we have a smaller work area because there's 2 people here. And so,
All right, so what we're
where's our
do,
sample card? I like to kind of keep that out
yep,
so I can kind of.
I'll put this in the top left.
Yeah,
how far
that's
can
good.
we go?
That's good.
Okay, cool.
That's good.
So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna ink this up, and then again we're gonna use this top part right here to line up in the top part of the framelit.
Yeah.
That's the
so,
word.
yeah,
Okay,
we'll line up.
And very important thing that you should keep in mind is that you need to make sure it looks very symmetrical, so you have to make sure it's the right side up.
Yeah.
Because I remember once when I was doing it, I stamped it upside down.
I know, and I refuse to put my stickers on my stamps because it's, I don't know. I got used to it when our stickers weren't so sticky, and then I just kept on doing the same thing. If you put your stickers on, then you won't have that problem. But okay, and I'm gonna I want to stamp. I want to have my greeting right here.
Yeah, that's okay. And these cards are all sort of flexible with design. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So now,
next one.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna stamp our little stand-up friend right here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna stand up again to do it. I'm gonna put him in the center as best as I can, making sure he's the right side up. Okay,
Perfect.
there we go.
And one thing that we may not have talked about, when you get to these smaller stamps, you're going to want to make sure that you use like a little bit more of a gentle pressure because they're smaller, so you don't need to press down as hard. So here's your little gecko.
And then a little gecko guy. Oh, whoops. Okay, we're good. Okay.
Yeah, I cleaned them off afterwards just so we wouldn't have any accidents.
Thank you. Okay, making sure a little gecko guy
is the right way up.
I'm gonna put him back in the little corner right here.
Hello, Karen from Arizona. Okay, and I kind of want to go rogue. I want to use the little pop-up guy. So I'm gonna put him down here, right next to his friend, like that.
Awesome. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a party hat on our little guy. So in your case, his friend.
Why do we need a scrap piece of paper?
So it's a bit hard to line up.
Oh, yeah. So we're gonna
party hat.
Are we gonna stamp a bunch of these guys?
Yeah, we're gonna stamp a bunch of these guys on the scrap piece of paper.
Okay.
And the reason why we're doing that is so we can practice putting on the party hat and making sure it's not too far or too low down the person.
All right, great.
So I've done this a bunch. So when people are starting off, what they'll do is they'll probably line up this with the top of the stamp. But the problem when we do that is...
Oh, it's got too much of a gap, right?
It's floating.
Yeah.
So then people tend to go a bit lower and sort of guess. And then we cover up his eyes.
Yeah.
So...
You want to kind of be halfway in between that, right?
Right. So you just have to learn this with practice. Oh, whoops. Oh.
You want to have one more?
Yeah, I messed that one up.
Okay.
But...
that's why we have a little practice sheet. I forgot that. That's like...
And there we go.
That's perfect. So, are you ready to stamp, or you want to test one more time?
Nope, I got it. So you just have to know your stamps and know how you cut them out, and make sure you can line it up.
For these stamps, I actually did do a little trimming on the party hat, so that the bottom line was a little closer to the edge. So I just, good job.
There we go.
Okay,
so
now I need to. Yeah, I do want to practice because I want to see where his looks good. That's pretty good, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, that's cool.
All right. Up there. There. Awesome.
So now we're done with this first part.
Do you want to stamp the inside while we have the ink pad out?
Yeah, let's. Okay.
I'm going to just have you stamp the inside, and I'm going to do, I'm going to leave mine blank.
Okay.
Because I don't need as many group birthday cards because
why is that, Mom?
Because work from home and I have no coworkers here, So yeah, it's
But when you go to convention or like on the incentive
that's
trips,
true.
you do
Yeah, but
have.
I don't give out birthday cards then, so there's that.
Well,
Yeah.
you could.
I should, but yeah, everyone's kind of just. Do you remember how you had your card on the inside? Let me
Yep.
open this. Ah, let me open this up. There you
Okay,
go.
right. So do you want to lay it out so the viewers can see?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
And I'm gonna get you the other stamp too.
So this one's a bit hard for me to eyeball, so I'm just gonna try to go for it, making sure we have space for the greeting below.
Okay. Ooh, good job.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna ink up
That one
from all of us.
Do you want to test that to see, like maybe with the edge, to see how
Sure.
straight you're gonna stamp it? Like just pretend that, so you kind of have a. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay. So yeah, just kind of find your. Awesome.
There we go.
Great.
Okay, that's not as centered as I
Yeah,
would have liked it, but
no, it's
art,
pretty close.
right?
It's pretty darn close.
Okay.
So yeah. All right. So now we're gonna color these with Stampin' Blends. So I know you wanted to use
I like the sort of lighter color.
the light crumb cake, and I'm gonna use ivory so we can both go at the same time. So Nick has a crumb cake. I have ivory. And then
and we're using these fancy tips.
Yeah, so when you're coloring, you want to, with the brush tip, you want to make sure you're going on the side of the brush so you don't break down your brush tip. If you need to get into a small spot, of course, you want to use your bullet tip on the other side. Oh, and you have a gecko
I
to
do
color.
have a gecko,
So
yes.
Nicholas is also going to use the dark mint macaron. I am not going to use that. I have to decide what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to wait for the crumb cake and color him in crumb cake so he's just slightly different.
Okay.
But why don't you color your guy first and then switch to the mint macaron, and then I'll use your crumb cake to do this little guy so we can both color at the same time.
Okay, there you go.
So I'm going to just come in and do him.
And for the gecko, I'm just going to use the bullet tip since it's so fine and it'd be pretty hard to do him without. And I always like to make sure I leave the eyes blank so he looks like he has a soul.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, and the gecko's eyes are bigger. I forgot to do that with the meerkat.
I didn't do that with the meerkat because his eyes are stamped, but
yeah,
when you're using the bullet tip, I think it's
yeah, that's a good idea to leave that that one blank. Yeah, okay. So you know what? Why don't we leave the coloring of the inside for later?
Yeah, that can
since
be
it's kind of the
thing.
same as, because we're not doing any special shading. Like I didn't tell Nicholas this, but sometimes if you want to create like a little bit of shading, you use the same color and you go over top of it. So if you come over the ivory on ivory, it can darken up an area a little bit again.
Oh, actually, that's really cool.
And this is a nice way to do shading because it's just will make it slightly darker, so you can't really mess it up. So that's a nice way to do shading. But anyway, we will skip that. Let me move some of these things aside.
Awesome. So now we have our what do we call these again?
The focal point, or what do you?
No. This framelit.
Oh, it's the stitched. Stitched something. Stitched nested labels. That's what it is.
Okay.
Stitched nested labels.
So now what we're gonna do is we have
paper, and I cut a different piece for me.
Okay. So where did we put this?
Oh, it should be in there. It's in there. Okay.
There it is. Okay.
All right, and we need also this piece.
Right.
Do you remember what the name of the embossing folder for that one?
It's the Mosaic 3D embossing folder, and what I really liked, it really complements this this texture on this paper right here, which is called
Mosaic Mood.
Mosaic Mood.
Yeah.
And
I think they are meant to go together. They were in the annual catalog together. So yeah, when I was pulling up, looking it up, I noticed that they were kind of together. So I think they were meant. This particular paper, this sheet of paper has all these bands coming down. So Nicholas chose this particular band, but I thought just for a little difference, I thought I would grab a different color band and see what that looked like on here. And I think I think you can choose any of the bands going down that particular page and it will look good. So I just kind of wanted to do that. So basically we're going to do the same thing as we did with the other card, right? We're just going to put some Tombow right on the back of here. And then we'll just stick this centered on the piece. I have to stand up to do this, get the bird's eye view.
And destroy that heavy splotch I put down earlier. Okay.
Okay, good. And I'm going to grab my focal point layer and add this on here. And oh, and one thing I didn't tell you about.
Uh-oh. What?
Okay, I'll tell you in a second. Because I'm a girl, girly girls. I wanted to.
Why?
What are you not telling me? I have a little ribbon piece to put on my card.
Oh, no, that's okay.
But I left I didn't make one for you, but I wanted to add like a little bow onto my card.
No. And what color is that bow?
That is, it's called Mint Macaron. Oh, I didn't put it on the supply list, but it's right here. It's in the new catalog too. This one is, the color's Mint Macaron, so it complements your gecko. It's the sheer linen ribbon. It's a new ribbon that is in the new mini catalog coming out on Friday.
Wow.
So yeah, so now we're gonna, after we've got all of these pieces glued, I've got, these are soft suede card bases like Nick said before, and we're just going to adhere that to this embossed piece to the front of the card base. And then we're going to, I'm going to add my little bow on here with a little mini glue dot.
Awesome.
I didn't tell you about that.
You did not tell me about that in
I
advance.
know. I can't help it. So it kind of has the same idea as my other card. What do you need?
No, I was just saying we have some comments.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, so you're going to glue that to the front.
Yep.
Okay. Let's read some card. Betty likes your tip on the party hat placement. Yeah, I think that's, I totally forgot about that, and it's such a good tip because like I've been stamping so long, I forget that like I have all this muscle memory and like brain memory because like I do this every day, but not everyone does this every day, and you don't want to ruin your card on that stupid little party hat, right? Like, just right at the last minute, you've got your whole thing designed, and so to be able to like practice is a really good idea. All right, yeah, and Karen also liked the tip about trimming the stamp a little bit. Yeah, that really helped. For these stamps, I did trim them down a little bit. If you have the time, it's always helpful if there's a little bit of extra rubber. The photo. You need that. Sorry.
Right.
Oh yeah, you need that for
the inside.
Yes.
You don't have to do this step, but I think it really adds some character because I really like these guys.
Yeah, I think it's cool. And for me, like I was just thinking, if I worked in an office setting, that would be just great. Or if I lived in a dorm, but I don't give a lot of cards right now from all of us. So that's why I can always stamp that if I need to.
Right, yeah.
I could always add that to a card afterwards. So.
And also just adding like an inside thing gives you a nice sort of place to write.
Yeah. And you can fill it up with as many stamped images as you need if you don't want to write a lot, right?
Right, yes.
And if you needed more room for signatures and stuff, you could always add another panel of very vanilla to the opposite side so that people had more room to write if you wanted to do that.
Right, and I think the very vanilla adds sort of a nice off-white tone to the card.
Yeah, very vanilla is actually in this Mosaic Mood Designer Series paper, so that's why it works so well together. So yeah, that is our cards. Aren't they awesome? Let me bring
Yeah,
bring the cards in. Bring them
where all
in.
the whoa, how did we get so many?
Well, because we each
Oh, right,
yeah, and I had
there's the
yeah
seven from that one.
yeah. I
Okay,
did
got it.
an extra one. So very cool. We did a really good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Let's just I wanted to wrap things up over here. Let me like switch a sit back down, Nick,
Oh, and I
and
said I can add a facet jump. So actually, I'm gonna do that if you don't mind.
a faceted jump.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, those are sequins, but you can
Okay.
you can add
I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just gonna like
you could like add a few like
yeah.
because they're
Where
small.
did the mini
Okay.
go? Right there.
Why don't I let you do that? And I'll
Are you
ask
doing
you.
something?
Oh yeah, no. I wanted to. Can you talk while you do that?
Sure.
Or
Yeah, I can do that.
so Nicholas, since we moved to Boston,
Yes.
I've earned like a few incentive trips, and one of the reasons. I'm going to switch this camera over here. Nicholas will stand up in
Yes.
the background. One of the reasons that I wanted to work really hard was I wanted to take Nicholas on these incentive trips, and we've gone to some pretty good places, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. No,
Um,
Stampin' Up's a really great company when it comes to that. So.
Yeah, and I'm thankful to all of you, my customers, my followers, my downline, and everyone who supports me so that we can go on these trips. And so, where have we gone, Nick? Can you remember?
So probably the coolest place we've gone to is Thailand.
Oh yeah, Thailand was really really cool.
It's very far and very much like a once in a lifetime sort of thing.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
it's yeah, it's so exotic. Like when you go to Europe, you can sort of like recognize like the characters because they're all pretty much the same. But when you go to Thailand, it's like the alphabet is completely different, and the weather is so humid. Well, actually,
yeah.
maybe about Florida in summer.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, Thailand has been the most humid place I've ever been, but it was really cool. We've also we went on a Mediterranean cruise, a Greek Isles cruise, and we went to Alaska together, and it was just great. And one of the main reasons I wanted to earn them was for Nicholas to come along, and that has been
Yeah.
great, and I'm sure he's very happy about that.
Yes.
The other thing I wanted to say is Nicholas helped me set up this two camera setup. It took us a little while to figure it out, and he has popped in and has helped me so much with the technology piece because it's not easy always to do these setups. So he helped me a lot. So thank you so much for
No
that.
problem.
He's a future computer engineer, so
Yeah.
he's like already earning his keep, so to speak. And I also wanted to ask you, Nick, what did you think of Casing Tuesday, that experience?
I thought it's a pretty cool experience because going from scratch to make a card, it's pretty daunting, and I'll admit, like, this is a bit scary for me to do. But having a nice design base, which you can start off with, is really helpful for a beginner like me who doesn't do this on a daily basis or even
Yeah.
a weekly basis.
Yeah. So, we encourage you, like, if you're new to stamping and you want to have like a starting point, look at the cards in the catalog and use them as a template. And also, we have a Facebook group for the cards that we choose each week, and you can copy the same cards as us. And if you look in the description down below of this live, there's a link to the group, and you can join us. And actually, I have forgotten to post my card on that group today.
Oh no!
But I will get
You should
over
do
there
that.
after the live and post my card for the day. I haven't checked yet to see if we have a group that blogs with us every week, so they all join in and share their cards as well. So when you get on there, you'll see a variety of samples using the same card as the base. So it's kind of a neat thing. For people that are more experienced, it's great because often there's a card that's picked that's not in your comfort zone. It's a different layout than you're used to, a different style, and so it helps us explore different styles as well. So it's a great way to get more comfortable with stamping and to expand your stamping experience. So, oh, Nick, do you want to share your card? How you finished
Oh
it off?
yeah, yeah,
Okay, let
please
me
do. Yeah,
Okay, so
so I
point.
just I just add a couple
Oh
sequins
yeah,
like
that's
that.
cute.
Um,
I like that.
just
A little bling.
a little pop in this corner because we
Yeah,
didn't really have
yeah.
anything there.
Yeah, and it doesn't overwhelm it because it's a little smaller and it's, yeah, very
Yeah, we
cute.
can just.
That was a great suggestion. Um, well, let me read some of these comments. Someone said, you seem like a great guy.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, he is. I'm very lucky.
Oh,
I only
thank
have
you.
one. I only have one kiddo, and so I'm so thankful to have him. So yeah, let me see if there's any more comments. Betty says it's awesome that we bring Nicholas on the trips with you. Yeah,
Yeah.
so the trip is a trip for two, and then you can buy in additional family
Hmm.
members. So what it really did was it really made the trip affordable for us, and so we could go to a location that we probably wouldn't have gone if it was just a trip for our family. Stampin' Up helped us get to like a more expensive location, so to speak, and
Yeah.
see part of the world. Nicholas loves to travel, and so does my husband. So it was something that I could do for my family, and I really wanted to stay at home
Yeah.
like when Nicholas was growing up, because I wanted to be there. He's very precious to me, and I just this allowed me to work from home, and that way when he came home from school, it like as a
Yeah.
teenager he still had me. And I know sometimes he said to me, oh mom, you can go out and get a real job now. And I was like, no,
Maybe.
no, no, I love my job. And I love
Another
it so
conversation.
much that I'm still doing it even
Yeah.
now that he's off at college. So that's really cool. Okay. Let's see.
Some new comments down there.
Yeah. So Brenda says, even an avid crafter gets stumped as to ideas sometimes. So casing is a great way to help to get the juices flowing again. Yeah, it's really great. Like if you're kind of stuck, if you're in a rut, go out there and copy something that someone else has done, and that's a good way to get the creative juices flowing again.
Oh,
Um,
and yeah,
oh, can you
Betty.
share the inside
Yeah,
of your
of
car?
course. Do
Okay,
you want
let
to
me.
switch the camera
Yeah, I
again?
will. I will. I will. There we go.
Okay, so this is the one that we just did. So this is without any watercoloring or
Blends, stamp and
blends.
blends. Why don't you show the one that you did with the blends earlier?
So this is the one I did originally
Yeah.
for a concept. So I colored up the meerkats and
Yeah. The other thing too, like for the hats, you could also stamp the hat in a different color. You don't have to do like a black hat. You could do like, or this one, you could have taken mint macaron and stamped that mint macaron, the hat in mint macaron to give it like a little bit more color.
yeah.
And you could have done like the inside,
I would
you
have
could
done
have.
it in like a pumpkin pie or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. So you could have done that hat in a different color just to give it a little bit more, pizzazz. So that's kind of cool. Okay, switch back. Okay.
Anything
Um,
else?
so okay, how are you liking college, Nick?
How am I like in college? Oh wow. Okay, this is in case
Pretty
Tuesday.
awesome.
It's pretty cool. I mean, obviously it's challenging and whatnot, but I really like the school where I'm at in Canada, and the people are really nice.
Nicholas was born in Canada,
Mhm.
and we moved down to the U.S. when he was about 2 years old.
Yeah, I was about two.
Yeah. So he was raised in Tennessee and Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So
And now I'm going back to Canada for school. And
Yeah.
that's awesome. So I'm really enjoying it.
that's
Yeah.
that's great. I know it's a really tough program. Nicholas is studying engineering,
Yeah,
so
so
it's not for the faint of heart. But
It's a
I'm
lot.
proud of him that he's taken on the challenge because it's a really tough program. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us this
Yeah.
morning, and we want to wish you all a very happy new year. We
Yeah.
hope that it's happy and healthy, and I will be back next Tuesday with a new card. The new catalogs start on Friday, so if you're looking for that, check out online the Stampin' Up! Store on Friday. And just as a heads up, next week it's going to be all about hearts, because guess
Ooh.
what? The next holiday we have to craft for is Valentine's Day. So I'm going to be doing a lot of loved themed stuff starting next week. Betty says, "Good luck in college. So great to hear you like it."
Oh,
Sigh.
thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys. Happy New
Happy
Year.
New Year.
And we won't see Nicholas next week, but you will see me. All right. Take care, guys. Bye bye.
Bye.